Right, thanks for joining us today in this session. This is the group to practice about Power Platform, and we're going to cover the different tools that it includes, like Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and if we have some time at the end, we might cover additional things like Power Agents or the AI tools, as well as other complementary services that it includes. For today, I want to show you how to set up your development environment, because it's going to be very important to have the proper tools to perform all the activities that we are going to do during these sessions. Fortunately, Microsoft offers a subscription that is completely free for developers, and it has everything we need, even the pro version of Power BI. So it's going to be very important that all people willing to follow the steps that we are going to do in the next sessions has at least an environment like this to perform the test. Even if you have access to another environment, maybe you have a previous one or is from a customer or any third party, if that environment doesn't include the pro version of Power BI, you are only going to be able to test that during 1 month with the trial. The advantage with the development environment is that you can use it as much as you want, as long as you refresh the subscription, which has a revision period of 90 days. So let's say each 3 months you need to provide enough evidence to Microsoft that you have been using the environment for development. That's the only requirement. So I'm going to start the screen sharing, and please confirm when you see my screen.
I can see the screen.
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to go directly to Google. Oops. Looks like it works without you. That's weird. They are very powerful, so they can do that. Let's search for the following term: Microsoft 365 Developer Program. Program as an event, a subscription, not software. So here it is. You can see it says Developer Program Microsoft 365. Okay, here are a couple steps that we need to take, and at the beginning is just to create the Microsoft account. It's not really going to open Office 365 until the very end. So just be patient during the process. The first thing is to click on this button that says Join Now. Let's do that. Okay, there is one small problem. We need a Microsoft account already, not from another environment. I mean a personal account like Hotmail or Outlook or Live.com. And in order to use this, so we need to create one. That's what I'm going to do first, because I do have some Microsoft accounts already, but I have used them for environments like this before, so those won't work. I need a new one. In this case, I'm going to call this one okay. Not sure if I need to click here, but let's try. Training No, I think we need to click on this. Yeah. I click on get new account and it changed it to this. That makes more sense. Okay, so let's try again. I don't think this one is available, but let's see. Of course not. Okay, so account 1, 2, 3. No. Okay.
Try with training account with Sharepoint.
The TA or training underscore SB. Let's see. Ah, there it is. Training underscore SB. That looks good. I think I will keep it. Okay, so a password. Okay, that one worked. I cannot solve any puzzle if I don't see the puzzle. Okay, there it is. Okay, let's try to open that here. Okay, it worked. However, we still need to confirm that the account works and a few extra details. So in order to do this fast, I'm going to go directly to the account settings. That's what I thought. The account name is missing. Need to update multiple details. There it is. So training. Okay, that worked. The other thing is that it might need a phone number, but I think we can do that from here too. It will ask for a phone anyway, so I need to do that now. I'm going to stop the screen sharing because this video is going to be seen by multiple people. Okay, so set. to do it twice. Okay. I think that should be it. I'm going to reshare again. Okay, the next thing is to see if I can send an email from here. So I'm going to write to my email address. Okay. Come on. Okay, let's refresh. This is the first part. Okay. Okay, it seems it went through. I'm going to reply. Okay, there it is. I sent this a few minutes ago, but it took a little bit to arrive. Okay, so that's all we need. Let's refresh here. Join now. That's ready. Okay, it's not refreshing this yet.
Te está diciendo que el nombre no está poniendo.
Okay. Nope. I'm going to sign out. There it is. Right, so let's pick the country, Mexico. Company, it's going to be training, SB, English, accept. If you are starting, this might be useful to get some tips. This is not that annoying as one might think. Actually, some of them are useful. But because I know most of them, so I'm just going to leave this on check. Next thing is like a survey. Mostly is not really going to change your experience, so doesn't really important. It's not very important what you put here. Still, I try to fill it as good as I can, just to feel fine with this. Okay, personal project, and then Office 365, SharePoint, yeah, Planner, yes, Teams, of course. Technologies, add-ins, cards, yeah, connectors, yes. This one, yes. Oh, this one is good. Just like that. Enough data. Okay, we're very close. So this is what I told at the beginning, that all of this is not really going to activate Office 365 yet. This is just to get the, let's say, your account associated with the developer program. Like you'll get accepted into the program, basically. And here you will, in this page, with your account logged in, you will monitor what's the status. But in order to see that, let's get started with the setup. So I'm clicking this button, and it's going to ask for information again. But the reason is this information is for the actual Office 365 account, not the account we use to join the program. But I'm going to use the same username to don't get confused later. A domain, ESV, of course, it's not available. Okay, let's use this as a domain. And here we are going to use admin. Okay, password. Okay, it's asking for my phone number again. 1 second, please. All of these forms that ask for a mobile phone are okay to fill it. Even if you do this many times, it's not a problem like, hey, you already get a subscription with this phone. No, it's just use it for validation, and it's okay to use it many times. Okay, this is what I was telling. Look at the URL. We are still in the developer program site, and this is not an Office 365 environment. It's just the program portal. So you need to save this address in your bookmarks or somewhere, because here you are going to monitor what's the status of your developer subscription. This is not going to appear on the Office 365 panel. It's something you need to check here. And by the way, here are some ideas for things you can develop to refresh this environment. Some people use this environment for real things, like a business that they have, a family business, for example. They don't want to spend on license. They do, and you can, as long as you continue developing things. But the risk of losing that data is high, because if you stop doing that, and there is no other person that will continue doing the development in that environment, then that environment will get canceled. So be careful. I'm not saying that you cannot do that, but if you are going to do that, just be aware of the risk and plan a strategy. Of course, it's a lot better to get a proper subscription with all the agreements with Microsoft, the support, etc. That's a lot better for a business. But I completely understand that some people simply cannot start that way. It's just that you need to be careful, and that's it. But generally speaking, we use this just for development, because that's the purpose. And in that area is excellent. Even if you lose this environment, you can open another one later. And the reason is excellent is because it includes everything you need, like in a E5 subscription, also Power BI Pro, which makes this great. And you have 25 license to test. Here we can see it says 25 users. It has some sample data packs to get started with some data already there, or you can start from scratch. I have started from scratch many times, and today I'm in the mood of using one of these sample data packs. So let's do it. Sample users. Okay. Why is that? I get it now. That's why it was telling me to copy the address. Okay, accept. Okay, it's spinning here, and it says this will take about 5 minutes. Please refresh the page. Okay, I don't think we need to wait for that. It's going to do some process in the background, so let's continue. Unfortunately, the other buttons are disabled. So what this is telling us is that it's not going to allow us to do the other sample packs until this one finish. So let's leave it working and actually open our environment. So I'm going to click here and go to subscription. But maybe a lot of you already know that that's not necessary. But let's click here. So you can see that it goes to the login page of Office 365. Another way that I use to reach that to open that login screen is this address. Okay. Whoops. The only problem is that it took the session of the free account, the personal account, because if you don't know already, even the free accounts have certain Office 365 tools. Of course, not everything, but part of it, because now Microsoft is trying to unify these experiences. If you have seen this before, there is a license that you can purchase for your personal account, and they advertise that, like saying, hey, do you want 1 terabyte of storage? Purchase this license. So that's why even the free environment starts like this. But this is incorrect. So I have to sign out here. Again, portal.office, another account, admin. Okay, so looks like this is a good account. And here we can see the icon for the admin panel. It should show something here eventually, but it's taking a little bit. I'm not sure if that's because it's working on the installation of the users, but normally it should show at least a few icons here. But anyways, the icons are on the left, and even if they don't show like this, you can make them appear by clicking on the top left icon. Next is going to open the admin panel, because this is the most important place when managing an Office 365 environment. Here we can create more users, change passwords, assign different license, etc. And by the way, we can see that the sample users have been created already. Maybe it's not fully set yet. Let's check. Going to refresh. It's still spinning, but most of the process is already complete. Let's take a look at one of these. Here, if I click in the display name, I can see, even has a picture, nice. Okay, there are some tabs here. The first one is the general information about the account. You can even change the username. And here also, okay, here, this key at the top, you can reset the password. And the other important part is this tab that says license and apps. Here we can see which license has been assigned. There is also the option to select specific products that are included on that license, so they cannot use everything. But honestly, that is just not very useful. I mean, probably for highly restrictive environments. I'm aware of some big companies that do that. They are very careful. They evaluate tool by tool, do a lot of tests. After they have validated the tools, then they enable it for the users. So indeed, there is people that do this selective selection, but for most of the cases that we are going to face is just select a license and that's it. Okay, there is more areas here that are going to be useful later, but for now, the one that I want you to look at is this part that says billing and then license. Here we can see what type of license are available in our environment. In this case, it's just one, E5 developer. Even if you find a way to purchase additional license for this environment, I don't recommend to do it because, as I told before, this is supposed to be a development environment, not for real usage. So don't pay for things in this environment. If you want something for real, then get another subscription and do the proper payment there. Okay, the other important part of this panel is this button that is going to expand and show more sections, the different admin centers for the services that we are going to use for the solutions that we are going to implement. Apart from that, another important area is support, this one. There is, in case you face an issue, which are not that uncommon, they happen eventually, so you need to be prepared. If you have a problem and you need help from Microsoft, you can raise a ticket here by clicking New Service Request. But this button to contact support is going to be grayed out because by default they want you to do the to follow the instructions here, even talk with a bot to avoid the human contact, as most of the companies are doing right now, but that's not very useful. So I'm going to write something, but it's not helping. Sometimes it's just an FAQ like this, sometimes it's a bot with a small chat, but it's the same thing. You need to write something, and then this contact support button is going to be enabled. Now I can click on it and fill the form to request the help that I need. You put a description, what is the contact mean. Also, you upload some attachments about the problem. It's important to take some screenshots, especially steps to reproduce the issue. So this is the way to get support. Okay, so that's basically it. Now we are ready to start with the actual tools that are interesting for us. Let me see if we can install another sample pack, because I want to try this one, Sharepoint. I think this one is going to generate a couple sites. Yeah, look at that. If someone seeing this video doesn't know what is Sharepoint, we can discuss, and you can contact us and ask the questions you want. If you want another tutorial about that, we can do it. But now I'm going to just to do a brief description of it. It's basically a tool where you implement an intranet. In other words, like a web portal for the company for internal usage. You can share some stuff there with other people that is not in the company, but that's a thing for another discussion. For This moment, all you need to understand is that this is an internal portal to publish some stuff, and the other people in the company can see it. Mainly documents, because SharePoint born as a document management system. So that's like the backbone of it. But as you can see on these previews, it has become more than that. So it provides a more enhanced experience. Let's see what we get with this. Start. Okay. So it's one by one. I thought it was going to install everything in one shot. Okay, well, no problem. Let's do it. But if we are going to do it now, yeah, in order. Okay. Yes. Consent, accept. Okay, installing. Okay. Not sure if we can close this. I think we can. By the way, remember that I told you these are the admin centers for the different tools, because for the solutions that we are going to build with Power Platform, we need to work with data. We need to choose a place to store that data. There is multiple options, but the easiest one or the cheapest one is to use SharePoint as a place to store data. So it makes sense that you know a little bit about managing the sites that are created. I click it here in the admin centers, SharePoint, and then it opened this thing, this new page. Here we can see the active sites and the sites that are getting created. There is a few already. This is the one that is getting installed. Let's see. I think we can close this. I'm going to do it. Yeah. Installing is still spinning. Let's refresh. No, still spinning. Okay. So I'm going to go back there later to install more templates because I want to have many sites. Let's take a look at the ones that are already there. This is the main site, which should be empty. Probably a few stuff in the home page, but doesn't really take you anywhere. Okay. There is another site here. Let's take a look. It's also empty. And the one that is getting created is this one. I'm not going to open it because I know the creation is in process, so don't want to mess with that. Okay, so let's take a look at these two sites. Again, this training is not about SharePoint, but still we need to know some basics. And the important thing to know is that there is two types of site. This style or template is called the team site, and this other one is a communication site. Some people might think that it's only a visual difference, that the menu is above and the menu here is on the left, but in reality it's more than that. Team sites are connected with other services, it's not just SharePoint, and communication site is pure SharePoint. Okay, that's enough for the comparison. Let's take a look at the contents of the site. You can go there either by clicking here or here in the navigation. The same applies for the communication site. Let's repeat the same step. Okay, there it is. This is the content. These are the contents of the team site, and these are the contents of the communication site. Basically, is similar to what you will see in something like Dropbox or something like that. These are repositories. If you want to see it like folders, you can, but it might be a wrong concept because these are let's say, more important elements than a simple folder. There are different repositories in SharePoint. The thing that you need to understand for this training is there is two main types: document libraries for files and SharePoint lists for data. It's like a table, like an Excel spreadsheet where you put some columns and some rows, and that's what we are going to use to store the data of the exercise that we are going to do during the training. But don't get upset if you don't understand all of this right now, because we are going to do that step by step once we start with the first solution. So let's see if okay, it seems that one site is installed. Let's install another one. Okay, yeah, there it is, the next one. Okay, everything default, yes. Installing. This is not the way you create SharePoint sites, by the way. If you are new to SharePoint, and this is just to install the demo sites included with the developer program. But again, we can review that later. For now, the only thing I want is to have a few sites there, because that might be useful later to save some time and not spend it creating entities and libraries, lists, pages, etc. Okay, so while this additional template is installed, let's actually see what tools are important for these training sessions. Let's click on Explore All Apps. There it is. Now it's displaying all the stuff. Okay, so the Power Platform is a collection of multiple tools, mainly Powerapps, Power Automate, and Power BI. Some people put it as separate the Power Virtual Agents, but I think it's like a subset of this, because it doesn't even has the button here, and you can also open it from these panels. But let's not talk about that right now, and let's talk about what is the purpose of these three, because this is the most important thing, the trio, los tres caballeros, three knights. So basically, the purpose is to face different challenges. Let's start with Powerapps. Powerapps is going to help with data capturing, or the input, the user interface that you present to the people, where they can click, they can do some actions, queries on data, or actually generate new data, do calculations, etc. Is what they use, is the actual app. Then Power Automate is going to handle what happens backstage. All the process that you need to handle automatically, those connections to send data from point A to point B, or do some complex calculation in the background without requiring decisions from the user. That can be handled by Power Automate. What kind of things? Well, let's imagine that you capture like a quote. You create a form in Power Apps to gather some information and create a new quote for a customer. But let's think that this company is an international company, so maybe the customers are located all around the world. So once you click submit to that quote, then the Power Automate will start and get the prices that you put there and connect with a web service that gives maybe the currency exchange of that moment and convert the currencies to different options. Let's say it may be created at the beginning in US dollars, but maybe you need different outputs in Great Britain pounds, in euros, Australian dollars, yuans, etc. So all of that could be handled by Power Automate, connecting with those in different services, and even handling the creation of a PDF or a Word document, so you can print the actual quote. That's just a very simplified example of the potential of Power Automate, but the point is that it manages everything that happens backstage to control the direction that the data is going to take and what is going to happen after. And then we have Power BI, which is the tool that helps us to monitor what is going on, the analytics. BI stands for business intelligence, and it's for a reason, because it gives us it helps us to create these dashboards and connect these different charts or visuals inside the dashboard with different data sources. For example, we can gather data from a Sharepoint list, also gather data from an SQL database, even from an Excel file, or from a public website. We have all of those options, gather data from multiple sources and consolidate in a single dashboard, and put some rules in the dashboard to present data that analyze the different data sources and do the match. For example, let's say that in your database you are doing some records about a country or people living in certain country, and then you gather from an external website the market fluctuations of that country. So you match that data from your database with the data from the country, and then you provide a very meaningful chart with these statistics and stuff that was generated by merging all of those different data sources. That's the nice thing of Power BI, but also it helps for simple things because it's simple to use and it is useful to create quick dashboards. Still, it's not the only option, but that's the role that each one of these three tools plays in the game. All right, let's see what we have here. Has not finished yet. So the process will be the following. We are going to start with Powerapps to create a simple app here and learn about some basics. I will try to do that fast so we can reach important stuff in a few sessions, and then move to Power Automate to actually connect some process with the app that we built. But at that point, we might be able to go back again to the Power App and do other advanced stuff with the knowledge that we got about Power Automate. So it will be Power App, Power Automate, then Power App again. And finally, Power BI. Well, not really finally. If there is time after we cover all of this and people is willing to continue, we also might be able to talk about Power virtual agents, AI, portals, or other stuff. Okay, I think that's enough of one person talking for today. So for the following minutes, what I would like to you is to hear your opinion. What do you think about this introduction? What things you already knew? What other things you didn't see before? And what are your expectations for the following sessions? Who wants to get started? If no one is a volunteer, I will select one. So raise your hand if you want to be a volunteer. Three, two, one. Okay, let's go with Emmanuel. Can you give us our thoughts on this, please? Okay, Franklin is raising the hand. You took too long, Emmanuel. Let's allow Franklin and then you go, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good evening. I think the introduction was very well. I expected from this session to know about these three programs. Uh, I don't know. I think it's a very good idea for you, Isaac, to share your knowledge with us.
Okay, thank you, Franklin. And about the first question, about the things that you already knew, all the things we covered today were things you already knew or was something that you didn't?
Oh, okay. For I work with the Power Automate with a simpler flows. I work with Power BI uh, as with a simpler report, and I don't have too much knowledge about Powerapps.
Okay, thank you very much. Emmanuel, your turn.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, in my case, I already knew all these applications, or products for Office 365, but it is always better to do a recap of all these things. So I think it was good.
Did you knew already about the developer program
Yeah,
and the things you can do with it?
yeah, I already signed up for the program, and I have an environment.
Okay, excellent. Mukesh, what about you?
Hi Rick. Actually, I know something about this one, but Power Automate and Power BI is a new one for me. But resting, almost I know at once.
Okay. What are your expectations for the following sessions?
Actually, I want to more explore on Power Automate and Power BI in more in explore advanced mode.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Edinson. Edinson, are you still there? I think he has problems with the audio again. Okay, Edinson, if you can hear me, you can interrupt me later if you can enable the audio. But I think that all the things you said are very good things, and I hope we can cover the expectations of everybody. Uh, I know that there are some things that most of you already know. I'm aware of that. Still, I believe it's important that we set some foundation as a starting point. Even uh, not only for the people that is going to watch these videos later, but for us as the group taking this session, because having a solid ground is what is going to take us to a good result later. Uh, is basically you will understand why I do certain things, like why I name controls like I do, and the way I organize controls and other stuff like that. And is going to help to understand each other easier. But still, I hope that can happen fast so we can get to interesting things or more challenging things soon. But I just ask for your patience, and please try to join all the sessions so we can go through this as a group and grow together. I know that some people have this difficulties to use this time for the session, uh, and believe me that we are going to be very grateful, even with that, still doing the effort to join. It's an effort of a group, so everyone counts, and it helps to maintain the stamina and the mood to see people joining and continue. So I think that will be very, very, very helpful to reach the goal that we have. But I think that's more than enough for the first day. I will try to keep the sessions smaller than 1 hour and a half. In the previous trainings, we did 2 hours, but I think it's too much. There are some topics that are better to do it continuously and don't interrupt, but I think are not going to be that many, and most of the cases we can take a break on in 1 hour or 1 hour and a half maximum. So yeah, that's my plan, and I hope is okay for everybody. Also, if have any problem, like have an important commitment and cannot make it for that day, please send a message. Uh, I will appreciate that you can let us know in advance about the situation. And that's it. That's basically it. Okay, I don't know if you have any question or comment. Mukesh? Mukesh, you raised your hand?
Power automation required E5 license or E3 is enough for?
No. Well, the thing is that this developer program that we are using already includes everything that we need. However, there is an additional license, the premium license, that includes additional actions. but it's not required to do the most of the things that we are going to do. And even if we need it, we can enable a trial. But the problem with the premium license for Power Automate is that it only lasts 30 days. It's just as a normal trial. But I don't believe you are going to need that during this training. So just by opening this development program subscription will be more than enough. Or you were asking because you are going to use a different environment?
Yep, E3 also.
Okay, well, the only difference for you is not going to be with Power Automate. It's going to be with Power BI, because this developer subscription includes Power BI Pro, and the others don't. For example, E3 doesn't include Power BI Pro.
Okay, thank you.
But still, you're going to be able to create the dashboards. The only thing that you cannot do is a small things about the sharing of the report or the places where we are going to publish the report. But the full experience of creating, setting up, that should be feasible with the basic version. Any other question or comment? Three, two, 1, 0. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you very much for joining. I looking forward to see you next time, and have a great night for the ones that live in the same time zone as me, and the others have a good day. Bye bye until next time.